to Talk of the Town, brought to you by Uniquely Nelson. I'm Chris Butler, alongside me, General Manager of Uniquely Nelson, Simon Duffy. Nice to have you here, mate. And we're joined again by Toby O'Sullivan and Gerard Casey from Isaac Construction. Nice to have you here with us. We're coming to you actually from the shop window, the front window of Noel Leeming's.
Morning. With a Zoom. We're in the cage.
No one's feeling sorry for us. We haven't actually seen, no one's bought us a coffee yet. But the purpose of this is that it's on Bridge Street, of course, and there's a pretty significant project that's going on, which Isaac Construction have been involved in. And can you tell us a little bit, first of all, how you came across the project and how you, obviously there was a tender process, but what got the thinking caps going, saying we'd like to have a crack at that?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So I suppose probably about 2 years ago, we first heard kind of whispers of the Bridge Street job coming to market regarding the redevelopment of Bridge Street and Nelson. And so I suppose we'd kind of been chipping away, pre-positioning, making sure we were getting all the lessons learned out of our other projects across the South Island, and making sure that we're developing a strong track record. And then about the end of last year, a competitive ROI process came out for the Nelson City Council to select a contractor to be engaged in an ECI process to deliver the Bridge Street project. And through that process, we had to show our proposed team, people, our track record, some systems and processes we would like to implement in regards to stakeholder management and health and safety. And I'm happy to say that through that process, we were selected as the preferred contractor for the ECI phase. And then over the last 9 months, more or less, we've been working with the Nelson City Council team and the designers to make sure that the delivery of the project is as smooth as possible. And work through construction items and program and costings and things like that. And through a whole lot of reviews and auditing, I'm happy to say that we're preferred contractor for the delivery phase of the Bridge Street project as well. So it's great news for Nelson and our team. So
From a practical standpoint, Jed, I didn't write this, by the way. I'm not quite sure what a practical standpoint means.
I've been worried my wife.
I'll explain it later.
My wife would say that I'm not very practical at all.
Yeah, from any point. What does the project actually involve, and how long do you think, or anticipate, obviously, it'll how long will the project go on for?
We're targeted for the end of July 27 is the end date. From a practical perspective, for me, it's a really, how I explain it is we're rebuilding the infrastructure, and to be able to improve the infrastructure that's under the ground that we see here. So Toby will probably give you a better technical reason why we're doing it, but that's for me is we're making things better for Nelson.
Yeah.
That's how I'd put it.
Yeah. So on that, 2027, some people would say, well, that's a long period of time to be working on that. But we're talking about underground infrastructure. And then are you guys responsible also, because there's a redesign or a beautification, I guess you could say is a good term. You guys have to do the whole kit and caboodle, or are you mainly responsible just for the main services?
Yeah, so Jed's right. So Bridge Street itself is one of the oldest main streets in New Zealand that hasn't been redeveloped. Out there in the road at the moment, we currently have a historic brick barrel culvert, which is protected by the New Zealand Heritage Association or New Zealand Heritage Trust.
Is that 100 years?
Geez,
So
could have been over 100 years to be.
Yeah, so it was built pre-1900s. So I think it was like 1864 or something like that. So
wow.
So we're really along Bridge Street is some really out old infrastructure, and so part of the project before we complete the urban design and make it look amazing, we've got to make sure that we go through and put in all the new pipes and all the new power cables and all the services that we may need going into the next 30 to 50 years to make sure that this is a legacy project that stands the test of time. So the challenging thing about this project is that 70%, oh, sorry, 50% of the work that we do, you won't see because it'll be buried. But the work that we do on top, you know, that's the other 50%, which will definitely add some real value to the people that come and visit. So, yeah.
Jed, you know, part of the argument, I guess, you know, one thing is obviously sometimes construction can be disruptive, you know, hard to work around, and that's something to everyone has to take into play. But the longer term benefit is that we're all talking about revitalisation. That's a big part. Yeah, that's a buzzword that is probably around the country, trying to improve our CBD and encourage more inner city living. But we can't do that without the infrastructure.
Yeah, and I think if I ever go back to what's happened in Dunedin, you know, it was old and it was tired. You know, you'd be walking along the street on paving and you'd be tripping over it. There'll be puddles of water after rain. Now you've got a city that is just absolutely outstanding. When the sunshine, and the sunshine does shine into it, you can see people out there sitting and enjoying everything that's there. When the cruise ships are in, people just flow all around the street, and it becomes what they call shared space, and it becomes making the CBD a more livable and an environment where people want to come back to, not just a shop, but to be part of what the CBD is all about. And one of the challenges is that we have barricades up, and you can't see what we've dug. And that's one thing that we're going to be trying to do, is to ensure that people see what's underneath. In Dunedin, we had those brick barrels, and we did videos showing what the brick barrels were like and what the water pipes were like. And some of those water pipes, you had about that much left when, which was all full of gunk.
Yeah, right.
And people were going, "Thank God you're fixing the water pipes."
Well, you know, not that I want to compare, but I watched this Netflix thing on New Orleans and the levee breaks, and they hadn't done anything to the levees for over 100 years. It was built in the 1900s, and but you know, we're getting, I guess, heavier rains, aren't we? More water flow, and so that's something that does have to be addressed.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, part of this project is going through and making sure that the stormwater systems that we're installing can handle like more frequent weather events, and ensure that this infrastructure does last us well into the future. So, yeah.
So Jed, you're going to be the front man for the project with the businesses.
Dancing with the Stars.
So they
2027.
poster boy,
Yeah, poster boy.
they have life size.
I think they want someone better good looking to the poster boy.
You got to look at you have that experience look.
Yeah.
And liaising with the local businesses on Bridge Street and also some of the surrounding streets. Can you explain what that involves and what the public should expect during the project as far as getting around? So there's two sides of that question: the businesses and also the public.
So first, I would say that I'm old school. Okay, I look old, but I operate old school wise. So if there's an issue comes up, then I front foot it, and for me, it's about being able to go and talk to people, be face to face. I have a saying that I work through, which is, I can fix complaints, I can't fix gossip. And too often what happens is someone sees something and then it goes all around the street, and actually that's nothing like what it was. And so I try to say to people, if you haven't heard it from me, you haven't heard it, and you really brass off about something, then give me a call, because I'll come out and sort it out. And I'm not scared. I've had some really tough discussions with people and the Dunedin project, and some points we had to agree, we were going to disagree. But I had to manage nearly 300 stakeholders down there. There's probably only about 5 that ever hated me. And I think, you know, for me, it's about building a relationship with all the stakeholders. There's going to be an element of trust from both parties, and as a stakeholder, I've got a number of stakeholders. I've got Nelson City Council, I've got our team who are on the ground and in between the fences, and I've got the businesses who are there, and the wider community. So I have a really wide range of stakeholders, and I need to engage and be seen out there. So some people would say, there's probably a better looking person that could be out there face to face.
No, I can't.
No.
I can't see that.
No,
Thanks, guys.
yeah, not at all.
But look,
Hey,
yeah,
But what-
for me, this would be the best job that I can be involved in. It's the best role.
Mm.
You know, I just love the fact that I have the opportunity to build relationships with some really, really good people. My background in business, you know, CEO of the Chamber of Commerce in Eastern Bay Plenty for 10 years, then on the New Zealand board for 3 years, and having my own business gives me that ability to understand and empathise with the issues that businesses are going to have.
And you've had some, we've had some discussions with you in the last 4 to 6 months about the communication with the public, or what they can expect during the project. And a lot of that is around signage, and we're open for business. Nelson will be open for business no matter what. And signage and directions, which would change every day, every week, and helping them, assisting the public to be able to shop on Bridge Street
Yeah.
and be able to get around. So what would that involve?
We'll be building campaigns around making sure that people around the district understand that that Bridge Street is open for business. It's really, it's about ensuring, like the fact that here we are in Noel Leeming. I understand that 70% of their business comes through from the back, from the car park.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take the parking out here. There's still an amazing amount of car park in Montgomery and Buxton, you know, where people are going to be able to come in and park. So that's what we have to manage. We have to talk people through. And just because you see a fence and a road cone doesn't mean that you can't come in and shop, you know. We found that that locals really still want to support the local people.
Yeah.
And that's, you've got to make a physical decision. Just because you can't park outside of the shop doesn't mean that you can't come and shop. You're going to have to walk a little bit further.
And what do you want the general public to know, you know, while the actual construction's going on? You're going to have crew around the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be lots of orange high vis.
Yeah.
One thing I would say is that those guys in high vis are working their bums off to make it a better place.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be subject to the abuse that some of our guys got down in Dunedin. And I think you have to understand these are people that go home every night to a family, and they're putting food on the table. So, you know, they're here to do a job, to leave a legacy. And I think that's really what I've understood about this. It's not often that you ever get a chance to be involved in a project which is a legacy project. You know, you will be able to come back in 10, 20, 30 years and say, we were part of that.
Yeah.
And that I think for all of our guys is having that understanding. You know, Toby's twins, you know, be able to walk past and go, oh, you know, dad led that.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's going to be cool.
And what would you say, David? They go, Daddy.
Yeah.
What did you do here,
It was
Daddy?
me.
Yeah.
It's all me, yeah.
And I'm like,
I sent so many emails on the street.
Yeah. They might say that's why Dad went grey.
That's why Dad's got no hair.
So again, if people, you know, want to know more about the project, want to have a discussion, talk through a few things, best way to get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, so the Nelson City Council actually has a really great page on the Shape Nelson. So that has a lot of information around our impacts and our program. There's also some pretty cool videos on there, I think, and renders of what the project's going to look like when it's finished. So any questions around the Bridge Street project itself, that's a great place to get some information. If you need some further information or would like to contact the Isaac team, there will be some contact information on the site holding or the site information, but also you can find our contact details on the
with
Isaac web page.
Yep, phone 027 201 8621. Call Jed.
just on the street, you'll have people obviously who are working and identify because they'll be on a digger or a spade. Will you have dedicated people who will have a different high vis, say, ask me, I'm lost, where do I go, sort of thing? Or it'll just be Jed?
Yeah, so Jed.
Jed.
You mean Jed?
Running up and down.
24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Standing on Bridge Street.
With a lollipop.
Yeah. And if he's not there, he gave his phone number out, so just give him a ring.
Yeah, just give him a ring.
Yeah.
We'll put that.
Put it in large letters. Put
Put it in the show notes.
And your home address.
Yeah.
Where to find you.
All right, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, so just on
Yeah,
that,
go for
it. Yeah, when we do the construction out here, like we're going to be operating like large civil machinery, large trucks coming in and out of site, opening gates, closing gates. So there'll be people involved in doing that, which will be able to assist Bridge Street people. But mainly that person's role is to try and make sure that we navigate the 30,000 pedestrian movements through the Nelson CBD every day and make sure that everyone goes home safely.
Spot on.
Yep.
Okay, good stuff.
Oh,
Well,
big life.
yeah, we really
Everybody.
we
Yeah.
really appreciate you guys coming in and talking more about the project. It is going to be a big project, but the long-term effect, I think, is what people are really looking forward to. And we're talking about city revitalisation. Well, here's an opportunity. But at the same token, the message is not closed for business. So those businesses that are affected, please talk through your concerns, but also we'll all do our darndest to make sure that we push the message that Bridge Street is still open for business and operating. So that's great.
And the information that will be shared on NCC or your site will also be on ukinelson.co.nz. We have a dedicated page just for that.
Cool.
To help with that messaging.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toby and Jed from Isaac Construction.
Thank you.
Much obliged for you coming in. And it's a major development for our city, so it's great to hear how it will be managed and communicated. So for more information, don't forget isaac.co.nz. And thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next time for more stories around our CBD for Talk of the Town.
One question. Will you have bobcats?
Bobcats.
Yeah.
As in the wild cat that lives in America, or
Those.
the skid steer.
Yeah.
Yes, we plan to have a skid steer on site. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but
We'll get you.
I would recommend you don't let that man anywhere near it.
Okay.
I for about 3 months drove a bobcat in Connecticut in America. Bobcats.
Oh, mate.
So if I can take it away for the weekend, I've been in the back beach, we'll do digging competitions. You can have a lot of fun.
We'll do the next talk of the town from the Bobcat.
From the bobcat. Bob's talking. There you guys.
Thank you.